Welcome. Thank you. No, I thought you were going to leave me hanging there for a second there, Raj. That was nice.
You know, I'm so consistent with it. I'll always do it. And there's always a crowd for us. That's all 15 subscribers cheering for us.
On their feet, literally. Yeah. Feels good. Yeah. Well, welcome back, everyone. It's lovely, cozy Sunday afternoon. If you've all been for your Sunday roasts, come back feeling a bit full. Coffee, tea, peppermint tea, killing that last hour before Super Sunday. What a better way to do it. What do you think?
That's assuming they're watching it at that time. But yeah, I mean, it could be a future Super Sunday, a future Sunday roast. Yeah, so fair enough.
Definitely. Well, yeah, I'm sure you all know the drill now anyway. It's pretty simple what we do. We'll probably cut off a minute or two, having not to explain it, but cool. So I'm going to go straight into the tombola.
Whoa. I know usually you ask the question of the day, but guess what? Today I've got one for you.
Have you now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of questions.
All right. It might be a bit of a deep one, so try and keep your answer short. I appreciate it's not an easy one, but what is your biggest pet peeve about anything that a person could do? I know it's a really vague one and an open-ended one, but what is something that someone does that really grinds your gears, really annoys you, or really you just really hate these kind of people?
I don't know if this is a pet peeve. Do you know what I can't stand? I've probably cut for a lot of people. One thing I cannot stand is when people eat and they've got a bit of food at the side of their mouth. Honestly, I want to heave there and then. I can't stand it. The kids, I can just about understand it. I'm used to it, but yeah, that for me is.
It's like, can you not feel that bloody bit of bread by your side? Can you not feel it?
Yeah, doesn't it add some weight to your moustache?
Yeah, just remove it with your tongue or your mouth or your hand. Just please do something.
It's pretty bad. I'm always really conscious of it as well. Because I'm conscious of not seeing it in other people, I get self-conscious about it myself. So yeah, I absolutely cannot stand that.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Nice. Interesting.
Okie.
Right. Let's. You ready for the topic of the day?
Yeah. All right. Get those drums rolling. Love it. You're gonna love it, mate. Best, worst person to perform a wedding speech.
Oh, nice. We said best man speech, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So as if wedding speech, right?
Yeah. So this person was your best man. Yeah. Fine. I mean, not all people that do wedding speeches are best men, but yeah,
that's true.
Also, I'd like to think I've got a bit of experience here because I was the best man at your wedding and gave a best man speech at your wedding, didn't I?
Oh my God. How did I not? I don't remember this. Oh my God. Yeah, look, I don't care if I steal your thunder here, but yeah, Udge was my best man. And it was fantastic. But Udge basically, there was a countdown. Everyone was like, what's this countdown? The DJ was putting this countdown on the screen and looking confused as everyone else. And I was like, something's brewing here. And when it got to 0, there was this pause, murmur. There's a murmur across the room. And all of a sudden, I'm here to show the world. And then you see Arj just in the background, in the distance, almost running as if he's running down the ramp of a Royal Rumble match up, and he's running into the dance floor, and then he slides onto the dance floor. Did you split your trousers while you did it, by the way?
I didn't split my trousers, but I tore a hole in the knee.
Yeah. Yes. And then worth it. It was definitely worth it. And then you did the whole Ziggler thing where he puts his hands for his hair and then throws his hands out again. That I don't know if you can all picture that movie.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
brilliant, and it was all Dolph Ziggler led.
yeah. It was very wrestling inspired. There was even a Titantron on the screen, like as if like it was someone's action shots. You know, like their best shots. So I actually got that filmed in a boxing ring, and I had a title belt in my hand. It was really cheesy, but really wrestling inspired. I loved it. Maybe one day, if we're ever feeling brave, I can show that on the channel. Maybe even upload it on the channel one day. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I think people need to see that at some point.
Yeah, there's a lot of adrenaline. I can see why wrestlers get addicted to coming out in an entrance and soaking up that crowd, because that was one of my top 5 moments of my life. I'm not going to lie.
Oh,
But yeah,
100%. Obviously,
very, very wrestling inspired. Very wrestling inspired. So yeah, I would like to think I know what it takes to have perform a good best man speech. So yeah, right on topic.
Yeah, I was, and it's so fitting, and it's almost like the premonition of where we are today with this podcast. You definitely need to do it. But in the same time, I've never seen someone in a wrestling entrance at a reception. But but at the same time, it was just no surprise because it's you. Everyone knows you love wrestling, so it was perfect.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Cool. We can start with football this time, if you like. I don't mind starting, or you can start. Up to you.
if you got the,
I know I don't have anyone in mind, of course. As always, I don't have anyone in mind, but that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I've got like 10 that could be worst.
I think worst is definitely easier.
All right, go on. I'm ready. You ready?
Go on. Best footballer from you.
So I think obviously you got to, have a few jokes. You got to be good on the mic, all those kind of good stuff. Hold a crowd together, be presentable, all that good stuff. I'm going for Ben Foster.
Oh, he's got his YouTube channel, doesn't he?
Yeah, who was it? The Fozcast or something like that. It's brilliant.
I wouldn't have thought of that, but that's good. Go on.
Yeah, but so for me, like naturally he can talk to people and stuff, but he's actually really funny. Like when he's describing things, like his time at the England camp, Capello getting angry because he had to go because his wife was in labour. Like it's just like he's good at building that story, right? He can do that. And there's time, like, I don't know, obviously when you listen to podcasts, you don't listen to them with other people. You normally listen to them by yourself, right? I've found a number of times I've chuckled to myself. So I think he's quite funny. He's always talks from experience. So with wedding, like speeches and stuff, any stories you come up, it's always going to be from past experiences. So he can deliver that really well. And make something, it's almost like making something more funny than it actually is. I think he's good at that. It just kind of rolls off his tongue really well. The other thing is, right, like you wouldn't have thought this of Ben Foster once upon a time. Like it was just a normal keeper, Watford keeper, West Brom, United. Like it's just a normal goalie, and then he comes on YouTube. You see him, and you're like, oh my god, this guy's like got a lot of personality behind him.
That's the great thing about YouTube, innit? And just you get to see the other side of these people. So yeah.
I can't do an impression of him. He hasn't got like a distinct voice or anything.
There's never been a rule that we have to do an impression every time.
I know.
But no, that's good. I've watched a bit of his content, and yeah, you're right. He's all of those things that you said. So yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. And if the night is going bad, let's say like you had the speech just before, and someone really just said the wrong things, then Ben will come and save the day with the speech.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, do you remember he used to? I was waiting for that. Do you remember he used to put the camera inside his goal during all the Watford games, and then the CEO of Watford was really pissed at him.
Yeah.
That's what I like about him. He's a bit out there. Yeah, he'd be.
Well, actually, that's a really good point for you, actually, because he's got the initiative to use a GoPro or camera in goal. So he's got this interactive footage, which means part of his speech would have videos, camera stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It will have an interactive speech. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. He'll probably add a few snippets, videos, whatever. He'll definitely get a crowd going, get a few laughs, especially when you're all buzzing, full of alcohol or whatever. So, yeah.
I like it. I like it. All right. Mine is going to be. And next, West Brom take on Arsenal in a fixture that we've only seen. I'm trying my best. It's Gary Lineker.
Oh, wow. Okay. I like that. I like that.
Yeah. So Lineker, he's aged gracefully. Like he's been on Match of the Day for so long. He's always got an upbeat, positive vibe about him. He cracks jokes. He's a very good talker. You know what you said about Martin Tyler in a previous episode? Like I hardly hear him slip up in his words. And when there are serious matters to discuss, like he can be serious as well and still articulate himself. So he's got an emotional side. Like I've seen it, when there's disasters or bad things that have happened in football, he'll talk seriously. So he'll really change the tone as well, which is what a great best man speech is. It's like a roller coaster of emotions, isn't it? It's the highs, the lows, the funny, the happy, the dark times. And I think Lineker would be able to do that so well. Like I've not even practiced his impression, but like, and yeah, Kish did have his good days, but he also has bad days. I mean, let's take a look. Like, you'll be good. I think you'll really entertain a crowd. And yeah, I can just imagine being a solid best man speech giver.
Oh, yeah, no, you're spot on as well. I think, especially when Maradona, when he passed away and he gave this proper emotional spine tingling tribute to him, and it was amazingly done. It was all over Twitter and stuff. He did really well. So you're right about the roller coaster thing. 100%. I met him once, Lineker, actually. He's really pleasant as well. He wasn't he wasn't go away, fuck off kind of guy. He was just it's oh, how are you doing? I can't do it. But he's like, welcome to Match of the Day, and or would be like, ladies and gentlemen, it's a fantastic bunch of people we all are here. Hope you're all stocked up and poured your glasses. We are here on behalf of the groom. Next to me is Alan Shearer and Martin Lawrence.
And then just for no reason, once the speech ends, he just goes, and here's Guy Mowbray. When he transitions to the actual game, he goes, at the Etihad was Guy Mowbray.
Yeah, he just loves using Guy Mowbray. That's a really good one. That's a tough two. Foster Lineker.
I think
one's a beer, one's a packet of crisps.
I think on paper, yeah, mine. I think more people would be able to probably relate to my one. But if people know Ben Foster's YouTube channel, then yeah, it is a tight one.
Agree. If you're a footballing man, perhaps, yeah, I agree completely.
All right, West, you go for it.
It's tough because I've got so many. I can narrow this one down.
And again, there's previous picks that we've said, like Rooney, Elise, all of these footballers we've said in previous episode for West, they all would be fitting answers.
Yeah.
But we can't. Our rule is not to. I think the rule should be we're not allowed to use the same ones we've said. But for example, I could use one that you've said, and you could use one that I've said if you really want.
Yeah. Definitely. There's loads I think I'll be bringing on, but this one's unique. This is a person that sounds like he hasn't cleared his throat in about 10 years.
Go on,
Mr. Sean Dyche.
yeah.
I also think, most people, me included, have a bit of Dutch courage before a wedding speech. Sip of scotch, whatever. I reckon he'd have probably necked about 7 pints before his, as if he doesn't sound like he's choking on his own phlegm from 26 years ago. He will also be really stumbly over his words.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those that haven't heard me before, I'm Sean Dyche, best man we go way back from our childhood. And of course you can't, Burnley are really close to me as well, but this guy's really close.
Yeah.
You're making me feel sick, man. Oh.
I know. But he's just one of those people, like when you're listening to him, you automatically clear your own throat. Take a sip of water or something. It's a bit harsh. I know that's the way he talks, but mate, it's just like it's if you haven't heard of him or know him before, and you're just in that audience, and he jumps on the mic, you're going to be like, "What's this guy gargling?"
His voice, it's like, you know what it's like? It's like he's got a big old tablespoon of gravel and he's just eating gravel.
Yeah, he sounds like a washing. Like if you put like gravel in a washing machine and then press start, it's just that noise. It's just that constant, like, yeah, it's that really odd noise. I no doubt you could probably deliver a good speech. Like, he's good with his words. He's, been in the Premier League, been in the spotlight for a long time. Oh my God! The whole delivery would just be a shambles.
No, that's a good one. All right,
go on.
I'm consciously trying to choose a footballer on purpose, not because I think we've both been guilty of just choosing managers and stuff like that in wrestling and football and coaches and all that. I'm going to choose someone who I never enjoy listening to in post-game press conferences or interviews or pre-game interviews, whatever. And that's none other than Manchester City's Riyad Mahrez.
Oh my God. Yeah, he sounds gone.
Yeah, his voice always, because when I was younger, my voice used to go a lot when I used to shout, and that's exactly what he sounds like as an adult. I scored a good goal, and Haaland and Jack performed the finish, and Erling got the assist. Yeah, so really happy we got the 3 points, and we're going to the next game.
You sound like Ten Hag's son.
Yeah, but Ten Hag's more like, I think it's good for the club. I think we got to win the cup. I'm good for the club. Ten Hag's definitely more bassy, isn't it? He's got a lot of bass, right? But Riyad Mahrez is like, he hasn't hit puberty yet, and his voice has gone after shouting at a kid's birthday party. Pass me the popcorn, yeah. Pass me the popcorn. Oh, it's so much fun, yeah. And De Bruyne, Kevin, get quickly, Kevin, catch me, quick.
He's definitely more trouble. He sounds like he's smoked like 10 shishas before he's walked up onto the dance floor, ready for his speech.
You hit the nail on the head there. Definitely more trouble. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not even using the language barrier thing. Like, I think again that's a cop-out answer, a language barrier, but it's just the voice. And I think 1 minute into his speech or even less, people will already be like, oh my God, get this guy off the stage. Like, he would have to do a phenomenal speech content-wise, like with his words, and he needs to have so many interactive graphics to keep people's attention just in order to keep the speech going well. Otherwise, the voice is enough just to tune you out, put you off. It's just like nails on the chalkboard, with all due respect.
Yeah, people start throwing tomatoes at him from an early onset, I think. Yeah.
That's me. That's my pick.
That was quality. That's a good one. You did another really good one on the last one, on the weather one. Can't remember what it was now. X-Pac, yeah.
That was a similar raspy voice, isn't it? Yeah, that was also but again, X-Pac is a bit more bass, right? He's got a bit more bass, and so is Ten Hag. I seem to be picking all the raspy people. I don't know.
You're good at raspy voices, definitely. I agree with that. I think there was a Carabao Cup thing. He had an interview, and he actually answered the questions well. But I was just kind of sitting there thinking, "Oh God, stop talking." Yeah, the memes are going crazy now.
That's the thing. He can articulate himself well, just like Sean Dyche. Yeah. It's just the voice, isn't it? Like, you want someone to be able to hold a crowd for 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. Out of those four, who do you reckon has the most friends?
What? Sean Dyche, Riyad Mahrez,
Lineker,
and Foster. I'd say Lineker. Lineker's been around for longer. He's got so many contacts. That's such a random question. I don't know.
I don't know. I just think of wedding. You just think of like best men and
Oh, right. I see. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
So, best wrestler.
Yeah. Oh,
So this
do you want to
again,
go?
yeah, I'll start because you start with football. So this again hands itself well for wrestlers because this is all about talking, and footballers aren't about talking. But in wrestling, talking is a big part of the game. It's like one half, I would say. One is the technical ability in the ring, and the other is the ability to cut a promo, in my opinion.
Oh,
So, and the first one, the easy answer that I wanted to say was something that you said for the Uber driver, and that's John Cena. I wanted to say that one, and I'd still want to say that one because I think he would be an amazing best man giver, like best man speech giver. I'm not, I don't want to say it because it's a bit cop out, but yeah, Cena would be amazing. He would touch on all the heartstrings. He has humor. He's got confidence. He would make the other person look amazing. But I'm not going to say it. I want to try and keep it interesting. I'm not going to say Cena. So in that case, who can I say? And what I'm thinking about is Hall of Fame ceremonies when people give speeches for Hall of Famers, because that's kind of like a best man speech.
Oh yeah, it is actually. Yeah. Emotional.
And again, the other person was another one you picked for a previous episode. Triple H is another great talker about people, but again, I don't want to say it.
Go on.
Nah, he is. Trust me, he's great. He's great.
Go on. You sounds like you're onto something here.
I'm really not. I'm not. I'm going through. I'm going through picks that I wanted to say, but I don't want to, just to keep it fresh. All right, let's think. Who else? And if you've got one, feel free to jump in in the interest of time, but I'm going to keep thinking.
Okay, I have got one.
All right, go for it.
And I get the feeling like this person would be particularly good because of and I've said this in a previous episode, dare I say it again, camaraderie.
Camaraderie.
Yeah, that's the one. So he's actually got that with another wrestler as well, and I think he'd be pretty good at it, not just for that reason alone. Mr. Fella.
Oh, Sheamus.
Yeah. So I think given that he's Irish, so first of all, two things: his relationship with Cesaro, was it?
That was ages ago, but he's got relationships with a lot of tag teams. He's been in a lot of tag teams. So yeah, I see your point.
But I'm talking it's kind of friendship level as well.
Yeah.
I see a lot of training. Anyway, so I think that alone, I think you've got to be a good person. You've got to make friends with someone that close in the industry that you're in. You've got to have a personality, not just an entertainment personality for the WWE universe, but just being human, right? And I think he sounds like he's got that. He's just a really nice person, generally training partner outside of the ring, and also because he's Irish. I think I know a lot of Irish people. They really do indulge in their weddings. As in they really make the most out of them. It's a big deal. Of course, it's a big deal, right? But these guys, they really enjoy that. They enjoy their Guinness. They will get really drunk and they're in good spirits. And he sounds like that type of guy. You can imagine him knocking back a few Guinnesses before his speech, and he'll be proper sweating on stage. But he would deliver a really heartfelt speech. I wanted to, it's like fella, this guy has been a tremendous friend. He's been with me through thick and thin. Pour him a pint. He is one of my favourite lads. I've really, really enjoyed every moment with him, from the training, from the ring, everything. He means the world to me. Cesaro, and he'll probably go he'll probably just start pounding his chest while he's doing it, kind of thing. I feel like he's got a bit more personality as well. I just think everything just comes together. He's got the old well-roundedness side to him.
I think that's a really good pick because you're right on so many levels. He's very liked, outside the ring, like in the locker room and stuff. He's got a YouTube channel called Celtic Warrior Workouts. So
Yeah.
he gets loads of people just to work out with him. And a lot of people speak highly of Sheamus. And like you said, he's got that look at the Irish. Well, you don't need luck in this case, but he's got the charmingness of the Irish, the Lucky Charms.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a great pick. I wish I thought of it. He'd be jovial, he'd be happy.
Yeah.
The only problem is, people might struggle to understand him. Like he's like, fella, time and time again, I come out in this ring, and you just cower at the back. You know what? Even though he's a big guy, he's got a little bit of a squealy. He's got a bit of a squealy voice as well. Like except when he goes, he pounds his chest and he goes, "Fella," like that. But
I was going to say that's a really good impression, but it's not an impression of Sheamus. That's an impression of Conor McGregor.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, I know.
That was so good. Just say one line in any line from a wedding speech in that voice again, please, just one.
Oh, good. You know that time when we went out, that time, and you got a point, and then we got into that fight. Remember that, Paddy? I've got a bit of like South African, Australian coming in there as well.
I think it's good, mate. I think it's really good. Really good.
Sheamus is great. Okay, I need to pull my socks up now and do one myself. And fiddlesticks. All right. Let's think. All right. I'm gonna go with The Miz, Mike Mizanin.
Yes.
So
good one.
Despite being a heel for most of his career, Miz is a great talker. He's one of the most underrated wrestlers. He's just Mr. Consistent. He's always there. He's never gotten injured or injured anyone in the ring. I know that's got nothing to do with speaking, but I'm just talking about how consistent he is. His promos are great. You should see him on like some of his legendary promos. And I use the word legendary. I don't use that lightly. Like they have become legendary promos, Miz. He should be proud of the career he's put together from a speaking standpoint, at the very least. Also him. So there's these like group of friends. So it's him, Dolph Ziggler, John Morrison, and Zack Ryder. All four of them are like bros, right? And like you see them on their Instagram and that, and you see them. They're always going to each other's like weddings, and they've all been best men for each other, I believe, for those who have got married. So I think I've actually seen Miz in that capacity as well. So Miz is he's a great talker. He can be funny, he can be serious, sad, all the emotions, and he would make the speech awesome.
Oh, yeah, I came to play. There'll be a great entrance song for him as well, walking onto the stage, wouldn't it?
Well, there you go. That's a WWE entrance song, isn't it? So
yeah, exactly. That's a very good pick. Very good pick.
Yeah. And, he's actually had to do this kind of improv stuff when he was in Tough Enough years ago, when he was just making his way in. Like, he's had to do all of these really difficult promo auditions in front of people and in tough situations. He slipped up on his words before back in the early days. It was really awkward. And he talks about that and how that's a learning curve. And now he's such a veteran that if he was to slip up, he knows how to just work his way around it. He's really good like that. So, yeah, man, Miz.
I also think, when you've come from, because he came from Tough Enough, didn't he? He was like the winner. Yeah. So I always feel like you have to chisel, that little bit more. You have to dig that little bit more deep to get that WWE contract. And obviously personality would play a big part of that. And like you said, that kind of friendship, that click that he's got, it's almost like, like in football terms, it's like Chilwell, Rice, Mount, Madison. They're all like best buddies, aren't they? And all four of them are like big personalities as well. So I can see why he's in the position he's in that way. I mean, it's a really good one.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Nice.
So now, worst wrestler?
Yeah.
Well, if you got one, you can. I was supposed to start, but it's up to you.
Nah, go for it. Go for it.
All right. All right. It's also difficult because I need to think of one that you know as well, so we can, you can relate to the podcast, because I don't want to pick one that you don't know. You know what I mean? So I need to think on that level as well. Okay.
It's your pizza.
All right. This might come as a shocker, but I think real WWE fans, I say real, I think people who watch the product closely will know what I mean. I'm going with Shawn Michaels, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
He's called Mr. Showstopper, Mr. Heartbreak Kid. He's he's a wizard in the ring, one of the very best in the ring you will ever see. But when he talks, like, his voice is gone. He's like, I talk like this, and my voice goes, like, right. And remember, I said in a previous episode, he's someone that's guilty of saying a lot, like to string sentences together. It's like, and that's all I gotta say about that. Like, I can't even do it, but he's got that now, especially these days. His voice is like that, and it's just like Mahrez, like I said before. It's a pain to listen to him. It's a pain, and you want him to take a breath in between sentences, because you feel like, oh, this guy is really, really straining here. My voice just hurts from doing that. And like, because of that, I feel he doesn't get all of his points across, because he struggles to finish a sentence. And he has to, and like the end of his sentence kind of like fizzes off. I'm trying to I want to do an impression where you know exactly what I mean, but he's like, especially in recent DX promos, DX reunions, and he tries to go on the ring, you even see Triple H's face, like, oh, Shawn, just give me back the mic, because he's like, how's everyone doing today in Chicago? The DX is back together, and he's like that.
Really, you're coughing.
I know, man.
Yeah.
This is what I give for this podcast, man. This is what I give for it. I don't know how he does it. Like, old Shawn Michaels, maybe not, but I think like age, like all of his years and stuff, it just got to his voice, and his voice is just really, really painful to hear.
Yeah, I think his delivery is what potentially lets him down. Like, you got to have that emotion with a delivery. You can't just say something. You got to have the moment to it, right? So, like, for him, like, I remember there was one segment years ago, and there's this is a bit made up, but it was just like, I can't remember which wrestler it was. They were in the ring, and then he goes, oh yeah, the other wrestler, by the way, goes, oh yeah, so Mr. Michaels, what do you call a martial art that's sugar coated? And then Shawn Michaels goes, I don't know. What do you call a martial art that's sugar coated? Sweet chin music? It was just, like, it's funny, but when he delivers it, it's not funny. Oh, you don't feel like laughing as much. You laugh half as much.
I think you're right. There's been other occasions of that when like the punchline just hasn't come across. But the thing is, you think of Michaels and you think this guy's an all-around legend, veteran, pro at what he does, and he's had some amazing promos. Don't get me wrong. Let's not get that twisted, and let me make it clear. He's had some amazing promos, but recently, at least the last decade or so, it's been difficult. When he comes back, it's like he needs to catch his breath, not because he's old, but just because his voice goes, like I said. And again, it's really hard for me to do an impression to exemplify it. But if you just look at any recent WWE promo of Shawn Michaels, you'll know exactly what I mean.
I do know what you mean, because my next one is similarly aligned to that. Shawn Michaels flew through my head, actually, during the thought process, but my one is, you're probably going to guess it, Hollywood, Mr. Hollywood Hogan. I don't think he's.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of that, brother?
Like, it's just not.
Brother, these Hulkamaniacs and these 24-inch pythons are going to go wild on you, brother.
He's so like, he's just, again, it's the same thing. It's the same thing where he'll say the right things, but the delivery will be like half the punchline it's supposed to be, right?
I think
Half the impact.
I think you're right. He's like a mix of your earlier Sean Dyche and my Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
He's a mix of Dyche and Michaels, isn't it? Like he's got all the pizzazz. Everyone's looking at him. He can draw an attention, but his voice after a while, it's like, yeah, the delivery, it kind of fades out because he's put so much energy in the beginning of it, and then the end of the sentence fades out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The only way he would successfully deliver a wedding speech is if every sentence had the word brother in it. So if he said,
you know what? You actually, I don't know if you know this, but I think it's a really good pick as well. He's fumbled on his words a lot of times. I'll go tell you the best one. So he had to basically talk to Vince McMahon. He came back and he was the face. Vince McMahon was the heel. Vince was at the other end of the ramp, and Hogan was in the ring. And this is a funny thing. It's on YouTube everywhere. And he goes, "You know something, brother? If you think I'm the right guy, I mean, if you think I'm the right gay guy." Did you hear what I just said? I don't know if you laughed over it.
Gay guy.
Yeah. He goes, "If you think I'm the wrong gay guy," like it was something like that, right? So he was meant to say, I think he was meant to say like right guy at the right place, but he used the word wrong, and then he used the word gay. Please look it up after this. It's so funny.
That's really weird because like, how the hell did he get? Because he was in a couple of movies as well, acting, right? So how the hell did he get that role then?
Because he was household name in the 80s. Everyone absolutely loved him. He was like a hero. He was a household name.
Oh yeah, definitely was. But still, if he can't, like I said, like if he just used the word brother in every sentence, he might just have a standing chance of getting through a wedding speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my brother. A brother from another mother. We go way back. We've done a lot. More than I've done with my own brother. And I look after him. He looks after me. It's like he's keeping a constant watch over you, like Big Brother.
Yeah, I mean, he uses the word brother to help break up the sentence, isn't it? He has to break up because he uses it to break up the sentence. Yeah, yeah, it's a good one. I mean, on a similar note, I was also going to pick Macho Man Randy Savage because again,
oh yeah, dig it.
Yeah. So he's also got a really gravelly voice, and he hardly spoke. So good. He hardly spoke in long sentences. He hardly did. So he was another good one, but we've seen more of Hogan slipping up, so I think Hogan's a better pick.
Yeah. I like it was honestly, I was thinking of HBK as well, but I don't know. But the other thing is, you got to remember they are two legends, Hall of Famers as well. So I don't know. Like in your opinion, if you had to go half and half, what's the split between being good performer and a good entertainer? What I mean by that is how good you are on the mic versus the physical requirement of being a Hall of Famer.
Are you saying what makes a good wrestler?
Yeah, so like the split. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think traditionalists might hate me for this, but I know what I've seen and I know how I feel when I see it. Yes, there are amazing performers, but these days, especially, we've got the indies, we've got all these really talented performers doing flips and all these really convoluted moves that have never been made up before. It's great to watch to a certain extent, and I love watching a good wrestling match. But for me, what makes wrestling is a story. And that's why I don't like, I don't really like real life sports like boxing and UFC, because it's great to, if you're a fan of the sport, great. But I like to see a story. Why do they hate each other? Why are they fighting? I like the story behind it. Agreed. And if you have someone who can't cut a promo, and we've seen this time and time again, with all due respect, like Daniel Bryan's now come up there, like he's got a name for himself. But back in the day, I saw him as someone who was a great wrestler, but had zero personality. That's what I saw him as back in the day. Now he's got a story. Now he can cut promos. So to answer your question, honestly, I would even say something as high as 70-30. If you have someone who's, 70% promo and 30% wrestling skills, that's fine. With all due respect, you could even argue The Rock was like that. The Rock was incredible on the mic. We all know that. He got the audience at the palm of his hand, but he's an in-ring warrior, let's be honest. It wasn't amazing. Yes, he can do the kip up. When he flips up, he kicks up, right?
Yeah.
He was really athletic to do that. But apart from that, like his moves, like, rock bottom, people's elbow, they're basic moves. Same with Austin. Nothing amazing about Austin's in-ring work. Nothing amazing.
True.
But
That's true.
you believed in his character. You believed in the story. You loved Austin. That's why you wanted them to win. So, yeah, I would say like ratio 70-30. I don't want the in-ring work to overtake the promo work and the character work, if that makes sense. Sorry to ramble, but that's something I'm passionate about.
No, I was interested. Yeah, I was interested. So that's funny you mentioned that. So if it's kind of 70-30 in the favor of, being good on the mic, then then you kind of not question, but then it's more interesting as to why Hollywood Hogan and HBK are both become where they are, considering they're perhaps a little bit more limited on the mic than comparing it to The Miz, The Rock, that kind of thing.
Well, HBK was absolutely incredible in the ring, right? And like I said, he was good on the mic. He is still good on the mic. It's just the reason why I picked him was because of his voice, right?
Yeah.
He was still good on the mic. He was confident. He knew what to say. He never slipped up. Hogan, his in-ring work was, if you look back on it, it's so basic. It's really basic, his in-ring work. But he had everything as a face going for him. He was the blonde-haired, Mr. All-American, hero, right? And he still managed to captivate a crowd in the 80s by going, what you gonna do? And, you know something, brother. Like, all of that really resonated with fans, didn't it? So that's why.
Yeah, he's a mercher. He's definitely a mercher.
It's interesting because all the ones that we've said about the bad wrestlers and the bad footballers, I think everything we have in common, it's not the content of their words or, them not being able to talk. It's their voice. Have you noticed? I said Mahrez, you said Daesh, then I said Maestro. And then you said Hogan. So it's like their voice, isn't it? That's what we've gone for. We're a bit like-minded.
Yeah. I mean, Lineker and Foster, not so much. But then...
Yeah, but that was good. That was for good side. I'm talking about the bad side.
Oh, the bad ones. Yeah. Oh, agree. Definitely. Yeah. I said that it kind of... The impact is half of what it could be if it was The Rock delivering it, for example, or Triple H or something.
Exactly. God, this has been one of those episodes where, I don't know about you, my voice hurts after this one.
Yeah, I think more so you. Yeah, I mean, me a little bit, because I was like trying to cough up phlegm from like 10 years ago, trying to do Sean Dyche. But for you, it was more like you tried to do... All right, say brother once in Hollywood Hogan's voice and once in HBK's voice. Just brother. Go.
All right, so Hollywood Hogan...
Okay,
brother.
You say it first. Say one of them. I'll guess which one it is.
Oh God! All right, brother.
No, not Riyad Mahrez.
You wanted to throw a spanner in the works.
Oh my God! No, yeah, that was a good one. By the way. Out of just HBK and Hollywood.
I can't, man. It's too many. It's too intricate. Like
I know.
All right, brother.
Ooh.
No, that's obvious.
Hollywood.
Yeah, because he's got that in there, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Brother! That's your Michaels. Brother!
It's like his brother's like falling off the top bunk of the bed or something.
It's like in Lion King when Scar's on the cliff and Mufasa's hanging.
Yeah,
and he says it. He goes, brother, like that. Remember?
Yeah.
So Hulk Hogan Scar at the top, and Michaels is at the bottom, clinging on, brother. And then,
it's been great.
What's his name? Yazoo. No, what's the parrot's name? The toucan bird. The bird.
Oh, I've forgotten.
Yazoo or something. Yeah, that's Mahrez, isn't it? That's Mahrez. Brother.
Oh, that's a quality.
Anyway, we've rambled. Let's quickly
round up.
Yeah, let's go over the picks. So, best footballer, you went for
Foster.
Ben Foster. I went for Gary Lineker. Worst footballer, you went for Sean Dyche, and I went for who did I go for?
Mahrez.
Of course. So I went for He's like a Pokemon, isn't it? Like go, Mahrez.
Like Pep throws the Pokeball He goes,
Oh my god!
yeah,
And then best wrestler, I went Miz, and you went for Sheamus, which I think is a really good one.
yeah.
And the worst wrestler, then I went for Shawn Michaels, and you went for Hulk Hogan.
I'm so tempted not to do an impression. I think we've rambled on, but that was quality, absolute quality.
Oh, that was a fun one.
This is really close, by the way. I'm so interested to hear whatever people think, even if it is just you 15 people, you loyal darlings. But yeah, that's a wrap. That's a wrap from us.
Yeah, man. I think we deserve a sub after me losing my voice. I got to go in the office tomorrow and deliver a presentation. So this is what I do for the SIUUUUPLEX Podcast. That's what I do. That's what I do.
It's what I do. It's what I do.
Mara is imitating Mark Henry. Something we never thought would ever hear.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
On the next one. Laters.
See you later, everyone.